Now high, now that the volume is on. So I was thinking, I have ADHD. I don't know how many other colorists, YouTube channel colorists, Instagram, whatever, anybody, call it just colorists in general, artists, whatever, have ADHD. But I just figured, I was watching some videos on organizing for ADHD people and things we do, and, I was looking at my life and a lot of the things I have done and how they very clearly show that I have ADHD. I was not diagnosed with ADHD until I was in my 40s. Very long time. I think I figured out ways to cope throughout my entire life, and then now, I can't cope as well. So I'm finally diagnosed with ADHD, or finally recognized more obviously as ADHD. But I thought I have a list of things that I do in my coloring life that I do because of my ADHD. Otherwise I wouldn't do it. Or it wouldn't be hard for me, right? So I thought I would go over these few things because sometimes we don't know why we get stuck or we do the things we do, but it's nice whenever we hear it from somebody else. Like they had the same struggle and why, maybe. Now I want to be clear, I'm not, this video is not to diagnose, this video is not to imply that someone has ADHD or for you to take and diagnose someone else. If you think someone has ADHD, then you need to go to a specialist, usually a psychiatrist or psychologist, a therapist maybe first, and talk to them about it. But here is what I see in myself that shows me that points to my ADHD. First, I've noticed over the last year of coloring that I don't finish whips once I start them, for the most part. And I've realized this because for ADHD people, there's an out of sight, out of mind thing. So as soon as those books are put on the shelf, they're gone. They're completely wiped from my brain. Completely gone. So I wouldn't even think about going back and finishing them. Not at all. So one thing I have to do because of that is write everything down and keep very detailed notes of everything that I do on a coloring page, so that if I put it down, I can come back to it. I can find it, first of all, and second, I can come back to it. Second, not only do I not finish whips, I don't finish current pages either. If I lose interest in any way, I won't finish, right? It's not important to me anymore. I will think of 1,000 reasons of things to do instead of that page to finish it. I'll lose momentum because there's no deadline. So in order for me to finish pages, I have to make up fake deadlines, right? I have the end of the month deadline that I need to finish the pages by. So I'll notice myself, this is number 3, I'll notice myself mostly working on pages at the beginning of the month when I first picked out my plans, done my plans, and at the very end of the month, like the last 3 days, where I have finally created in myself the sense of urgency for this fake deadline that we have in coloring, right? And not to say the deadlines are fake. They're real. But they're not, it's not going to kill me or change my life significantly if I don't get them done that month, right? We have leeway. We have room. We can move things around. But for an ADHD person, I have to make that deadline life or death, or I'm not going to get anything done. So, what else? Let's see. Oh, so I'm constantly reorganizing my office, my studio space, my art space, and my supplies. Constantly reorganizing them. Because they're never accessible enough so that I use them. Or I keep it organized and tidy. Like, for an example, if I keep pencils in the case they came in, which is usually not a case, but the metal tin, that is so annoying. You open it up and you've got like 1 to 2 or 3 or 4 layers of pencils all over the place. I'm never going to use them because that is so frustrating to me, having pans of pencils all over. Because then I've got to pick up pans of pencils and put them away. I hate that. I hate it. And it happens with everything. Paints. I use my watercolors more than any other paint because it's in a nice, especially the ones that are dried out and in the pans, right? They're in a nice tidy pan. I can get that pan out, spray it with water, use them, let it dry, put it back. My acrylic paints, I gotta get out a palette. I gotta get out this. I gotta get out that. Then I gotta put all of the colors out. And then I gotta use them all, use all of the color, or I'm wasting it. Because I don't want to put it away. I gotta figure out what to do with it. I don't have the brain for all of that. No. So I use very easy, accessible, and easy to put away later tools and supplies. And I'm constantly reorganizing, trying to figure out the best way for me to have access to all of my tools from my chair. So, my markers need to be right here. My watercolors need to be right here. My pencils need to be right here. Like, everything has to be right here, or I'm not going to use it. Let's see. As an ADHD person, we have these things called doom piles. Have you heard of that? Today was the first time I've heard of the phrase doom piles. I've known forever that we have piles, right? But I didn't know we had doom piles. Makes sense though. So what happens is, as an ADHD person, you kind of accumulate things and then you don't know what to do with it, and so you pile it up. But you know what everything is in that pile because you have different piles. Like, this might be the pile of the kitchen stuff that's not really in the kitchen. This might be the pile of my mail and bills and whatever else paper that belongs there, right? And then I might have a pile of clothes on my bedroom floor, clean, dirty, right? Which I found out that's called a floor drobe. I've had floor drobes all my life. All my life. You know, we have these piles and then we gotta sort through them, figure out what's in them, and then either keep them or put them away. But we get overwhelmed with all our piles, and then we feel like we need to put them away, but then we can't find anything once we put everything away. Stressful. So that happens in my coloring too, because then I'll have a pile of supplies that I'm using right now. Then I'll have a pile of supplies that I need to put away. There. And then I'll have books, a pile of books that I'm looking at, working on, whatever. Piles everywhere. Everywhere. It's overstimulating because then you have stuff everywhere. And if you know, like, people with ADHD tend to process a lot more things faster. And so we have all this stuff we're looking at constantly. It gets overwhelming really fast. We need to have ways to put things away quickly that doesn't cause us to lose interest in putting things away. We have to have ways to have things out that we're going to be using regularly, quickly, like so we can access it fast. Like, this isn't a coloring object, but car keys, purse, wallet, whatever. It needs to be where we can quickly access it. It's not going to get lost because we put it somewhere else in another pile and it's gone now. Like, we need, to know where things are at all times and be able to access it quickly. And I find that the most important with the books that I'm working on need to be right back there on that shelf. I guess it's over that way a little bit. But it has to be right there, or else I'm never coming back to that book. At the end of the night, if I'm not working on it first thing the next morning, it goes on that shelf. And if it's not on that shelf, I will never, ever work on it again. Same with my supplies that I'm using. I have these little containers. Let me see if I can find one. Yeah. I got these at the Dollar Tree. I have cups too. And I have to put stuff in these and set them like basically in a row in an order. And these are the things that I'm using for those pages that are on that shelf, so that I can come straight back to my little tin or plastic, basically looks like silverware tray, and get it and use it with my page that's right over there. Otherwise, I'm not doing any of it. It goes by the wayside completely. Which right now everything's a mess because I haven't been home, so I gotta completely figure everything out again. And okay, so on a day I have other things to do, like a doctor's appointment, or I'm going to meet my friend for lunch, or whatever, I can't color that day or record a YouTube video or any type of video, whatever it is, because I will forget. It doesn't even matter if I have alarms set. If I don't get up immediately upon that alarm going off and go upstairs and get a shower or do whatever it is so I can get ready, so I can come back down and leave, then I forget and I miss my appointments. I miss them all. Because coloring is more interesting to me. Doing the videos are more interesting to me than going to my appointments and everything else. So it becomes a struggle for me to make sure that I make it to those appointments. All the time. And, it's vice versa too. If I have an appointment and I I don't know what I was working on unless it's laid out in front of me. So that works the same way. If I leave the room, then I've forgotten what I'm doing. And I gotta start over. With, like, when I walk back in here, I gotta figure out what it was I was doing. Every time. Or I might not ever come back to the room. I might go out. Oh, realize I need to do the dishes. Oh, I forgot I need to go outside and you know, do some yard work or whatever, or do something outside. I gotta go do that. Then, like, oh, I forgot I gotta go get the mail. Oh, I forgot I gotta. And then it's like 2 days, and I'm finally back in here going, wow, was I working on something? Was it important? I don't know. So it's exhausting because I have, like, in between one page, if I don't sit here for the entire time I'm doing it, which could be 12 hours, then I'm not gonna finish it. And then if I do finish it, sometimes that means not only was it that 12 hours, but there was another 8 hours wandering around my house doing random things in between until I came back and forth to get that page done. Meanwhile, I haven't slept. Like it becomes a whole thing. Forget to sleep, forget. So one thing I noticed too is with color by number books for a person with ADHD, I don't know if this is just me or if this is like a lot of people, but I tend to struggle hard to start color by number pages. I love the idea of them, but it takes me forever to pick out all my markers for the colors or whatever supply it is and pick out the colors. That alone will make me never touch a color by number book, having to go through and pick out the colors. So I'm always looking for ways to quickly look at my supplies swatches and pick out the colors and label them, number them, put them in the bin, my little bin, for that, if it's a book or that page or whatever, and keep them together. Otherwise, I'm not going to even do those color by number books. Not at all. Let's see. Oh, I have the same problem with picking color schemes for pages. That's why sometimes I do think that the Sarah Renee Clark color cubes are a really good idea, because I can just go to those cubes. It doesn't, you don't have to even think about it. I can just pick out a card and then go run with it. I don't have to think about it. But those cards have to be accessible, which means they have to be right here, or I'm not even going to do that. So I have the digital ones too, but they have to be accessible from my desktop, or I'm not going to even look at those either. So it's just like this constant like battle to find color schemes. Unless I've already thought in my brain about a page a lot and I know what I want to do, I don't, I'm not gonna do it. I have to do it spur of the moment. Pick a card, or just pick some markers from a box. Pick some pencils from the whatever, and just do it. And that's frustrating to me, because I don't want to just be picking colors off of, I don't want every page I do to look like a clown page because I picked 50 colors that don't go together at all. Which is where I'm at right now. Like, if I want to color and I just want to color and I don't have the mental capacity to do all this other stuff, then that's what I'm doing. I'm just picking colors and throwing them on a page, which is frustrating. see. There was something else I was going to say right there, and I totally lost it. Oh, I remember now. This happens to me with that, like a lot of stuff. So, for instance, I don't remember words to a song unless I hear the song. And a lot of times, even then, I don't remember words until I see them. Which, okay, that's no big deal, whatever. Right? But I don't remember. I don't, like, if I think about a page, I'm thinking about a page, I won't remember that I'm thinking about that page unless I'm writing things down and taking notes and then coming back, looking at it again, or looking at a picture of it. That's the only way I will remember that I had even interest in doing that page or whatever colors I was thinking about. So if I don't write it down immediately, then that entire color scheme that I thought of, that I thought was going to be so cool, is gone. So the next time I come to sit down, it's gone completely. Which makes it difficult because it means I have to write down stuff constantly. And I hate that. I just want to be able to, like, see something and be like, yes, I know what I want to do there, and then come back and be able to do it. It's not the way it works for me. So those are all kind of things that, I think I've already said this, but I'll say it again. See, I can't even remember. I mostly only use the supplies that are already out on my desk. So if I am coloring with my Prismacolor pencils, which are right there, then I'm always coloring with my Prismacolor pencils. I completely forget that I have any other brands of pencils because I'm using those. I forget that I have markers because I'm using my pencils. I forget that I have paint because I'm using my pencils. So it's just like, there's a lot of little things and I'm like, that is just the dumbest thing. But it's, okay, it's not dumb. That was the wrong way to say it. It's frustrating to me that this is the way I am. And, like, for me, finding ways that I can help myself and not get caught up in these ADHD pits, I guess, would be great. And I do have a few ways, but not a lot. Like, for instance, here's one. In order to occupy my brain so that I am not getting distracted and going off on a tangent, I'm constantly listening to a book. I would love to watch everybody else's videos while I'm coloring, and I do sometimes, but not very often, because if I do, then I'm not coloring and I'm just watching videos. So I have to do something that's hearing, auditory only, or I won't color, or I won't work on the next piece of whatever I need to do for whatever art project I'm working on. And I do the same thing when I'm cleaning. When I'm doing any yard work, when I'm driving, anything, I listen to a book. Not music. Music does not hold my attention at all. I have to listen to a book. And otherwise I'll drive the whole way up the mountains. I'll get 2 hours away and go, why am I in my car? Meanwhile, I was going 3 minutes down the road to an appointment or something. So, I mean, it happens in many different areas of my life, but, like, places that's bothering me the most right now is in coloring, because I would like to be able to be successful in this and do this stuff, but I have a lot of I can't think of the word. I have a lot of things that distract, I guess. So I guess if you have ADHD and you are an artist or a colorist, artist interchangeably, or whatever, and you have techniques that you've used that help you, I'm completely interested, because, and I'm sure other people would be interested too. So please put them in my comments. Let us know what they are, because some things work for some people and not for others. So please share, because some of us struggle a lot with trying to figure out things to help us, stay on track. Now let's see if once I hit stop on this video, if it ever gets uploaded. Because that's another problem I have. I record it, I get tired, I go to bed, and then I forgot that I did it. Until I do another video and I come back to the same folder and I'm like, wait a minute. Oh yeah, I forgot that was in there. So, please share. And if you like this video or in the format of it, let me know, because I have, some other ideas about things we can do to talk about coloring and coping with other neurodivergent circumstances, or just everyday circumstances of, what does it look like if I'm depressed and I'm trying to color? What does it look like if I am high anxiety and trying to color? What does it look like if I don't know. There's plenty of different reasons why things look different for us when we are coloring. And if you want to leave those in the comments as well, that would be awesome, because then I can do some research and try to help us out. So yeah, let me know what you think, and if you have any ideas that will help. Thanks. Bye.